Please introduce yourself, state your name and DOC number for the record.
Lon Washington, 362-622.
Right, Lon. My name is Brendan Kelsey. Along with me is Ms. Renata and Mr. Marabella will be your panel. Explain the process to you, read some information to the record, have a poll overview, ask you some questions. You can respond at the end. You can make a statement. We'll take a vote. You understand the process?
Yes, sir.
Lon Washington DOC number 362-622. You're a second class offender. What?
No, I was just saying the last two numbers on my DOC number.
Yeah, 362-622.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Second class offender, parole eligibility date 2/5/2017, not eligible for good time. Full term 11/13/2046. A 50-year sentence armed robbery. Does that sound correct?
Yes, sir.
Please answer, Ms. Renata.
Well, Mr. Washington, how you doing? How are you? Well, I saw you at your last hearing. That was in June of 2020, I believe.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? And you were denied then because you had had some write-ups since your previous hearing. Tell us about your conduct record since then, since that hearing, June of 2020.
Well, I haven't had a write-up since 2017. That was the last time I had a write-up, and I've been doing pretty good, attending my classes as you instructed me to get exactly all I need and to finish up so I can have a chance to come up again.
So tell us about your classes that you've been, which ones have you completed?
Last two classes I completed was making changes for good and what got me here.
So tell us about what got you here.
What got me here is a class that, you know, it teaches you how to, excuse me, I have notes.
That's okay.
It's a cognitive behavior approach for relapse prevention. You know, it gears youth when needing help with obsession or your compulsion disorder.
So tell us what got you to prison after you.
Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am.
No, I wanted to know about the class, but I also want to know what brought you to prison.
Well, what brought me here was that I had messed up and made a bad choice. I drunk some alcohol, you know, smoked a little marijuana with my friends, and you know, we did something stupid that night, and we made a, you know, undiagnosed decision to go out and do something wrong.
Well, it wasn't just one night.
Upon that was one night, yes.
I'm looking at offenses in August of 96, November 5th, 96, November 13th, 96.
That was the only offense that should have been was the theft over $500. The other two offenses I was never charged with. They picked me up for it, but I was never charged. They never took me to court for it or nothing. My lawyer was supposed to take care of it, but I don't know why it's still on the record.
Let's go on about what happened.
Well, that night we took and went out, and you know, I was in the car driving because of my experience with driving, and the guys asked me to do the driving. So, you know, even though I knew that it was wrong what I was doing, you know, but I wasn't fully aware because I was, you know, incapacitated dealing with the alcohol and the drugs, you know. But, you know, that has changed me because, you know, I'm not that type of person. I don't have past alcohol or drug offenses. I'm not, you know, I'm not that type of person.
Well, you were then. How many co-defendants do you have?
I have 3 other ones.
They were your friends?
Well, 2 of them were, and one of them was a friend from somebody else. He was the one that's still out on the street.
So out of all the programs you've taken, you mentioned 2, which one had the most impact?
What got me here because it dealt with when I feel like I'm about to go down the wrong path, or I feel like I'm getting angry, or feel like something is wrong and it's not making me in the best of my ability, it makes me change and do other things and find other ways to cope with what I'm going through and find a temporary solution so it'll make me feel better so I can go down that right path and I won't backslide or anything of that nature.
All right, good. So you say you have no alcohol issues or drugs?
No past alcohol or drug issues, no ma'am.
So why were you drinking and drugging that night?
I was following with the crowd of my peers.
So that's the first time you ever did that?
Yes, ma'am.
First and last time?
Yes, ma'am. Definitely.
And you say this all happened on one night?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I can't understand why the record shows otherwise. Because even on your master prison record, well, I guess it's two different docket numbers. I guess one is because of the habitual offender.
Yes, ma'am. That was the theft over $500 that I mentioned. That was I was the people I was staying with and I was working for. I borrowed their vehicle at that time, and that's why I wound up having theft over $500. I had the vehicle longer than I was supposed to and didn't return it. So that's what made that offense come to hand.
All right, so let's talk about some juvenile offenses: theft, shoplifting, theft of goods under $100. That was in 1988. 1988 again, theft of goods $100 to $500. Yes.
I was running with like I said, I was running with some other people back then, you know, trying to fit in. And when they got caught and I was with them, I also had to go into do it too, because I was the lookout person. But you know, as far as actually stealing anything, that wasn't my thing.
You're a follower.
Yes, ma'am, I did. I did that because, like I said, you know, when we're in school, you know, and peer pressure, and you know, it was wrong, and I knew it as kids, but because my mom taught us different. We had everything we did, everything we needed, everything we did. She was told us and taught us better to do. But I did follow my peers in when I was in as a juvenile.
All right. What would be your transition plan?
My transition point is, you know, when I come out and not just work, get a job, and look for take care of my family, but to find what I need to do in society, what can benefit society that I can benefit to them. You know, find out what neighborhood I'll be going in to see what their needs are, to be, you know, more active in my community. Because I'm a JC, I've been a JC since 1999, and we're involved in our community. And that's what I'm, you know, striving for, to do something for my community as well that's going to benefit me and them. You know, what makes me feel good is helping others.
All right, well, so how many victims do you think were impacted by your crime?
I'm sorry.
How many victims were impacted by your crime?
I'm sorry, ma'am, but I could not count because it is a lot. It ain't just one or two or three. It's my family, it's the victim family, it's the police, their families, it's everybody.
How many victims of the armed robbery? I mean, the people who your group stole from?
It was 4 in that group, ma'am.
4 victims?
4 different people.
All right, Warden, what can you tell us about Mr. Washington?
Lon made a comment when you come in here, whatever you do, make sure you do it well. I know y'all look at his record, and back when he was being the inmate part of him, he did a pretty good job of that, but he's been 5 years without a write-up. He's got the capability to do pretty much anything he wants to do.
What's his job?
His current job is he's not assigned, he's got too much time to make trustee. Or we probably have him out there, but he's currently just assigned inside the compound as a field crew job that doesn't go out to work because short of staff.
Okay. All right, I'm still stuck on the victims because I'm seeing in my record, I'm seeing more than 4 different names. Mr. Washington.
I
So I'm concerned about your recollection of what really happened. I mean, I'm looking at probably 16 or 17. And I have their names and addresses.
they had me with several charges, but I was, when I went to court, a lot of those charges, all charges but them 4 was, taken, affirmed, taken back.
Well, do you, have you taken any victim awareness courses?
Yes, ma'am.
And what'd you get out of that?
That how sorrowful I am for it, and how wrong I was to victimize anybody, and it hurts me to know that what I've done for them, to them and their families, because I'm not that type of person at heart. That ain't me. This never was me. I haven't been raised like that, and it just hurts me to know that this is what I did.
Did you ever do self-reflection to figure out how you found yourself in that situation to victimize those people? You say you just drove the car, but there were firearms involved in the robberies.
Yes, ma'am. They acquitted me of that. They found me guilty at first, but they wound up taking it back because that was me. They had no evidence. That's why.
I'm not seeing that. All right, let's move on. Where's your family today?
I have no idea. I wasn't able to talk to them last night, but I left them a message.
But did you know just yesterday you were coming here?
No, ma'am. I contacted my lawyer. I contacted an investigator, so they were supposed to pass the word because I can only talk to them at a certain amount of time at night after 8 o'clock, and sometimes just getting on the phone is it's kind of hard. We only have 3 phones in the 79-person dorm.
I'll have JPay.
Well, my tablet is currently not be able to. I can't call out because the jack of the tablet is the old one. I have the very first model, and it doesn't work.
I get it. All right. I don't have any other questions.
Right, would you like to make a statement on your behalf?
Yes, sir. I just want to let the board know that I am truly sorry that I've hurt all these people. I've changed my life. For the better, doing all these classes, because when I first came in this system, the first thing I did before they even required classes was take classes, because I'm a time person, I like to have things to do with my time, and I like to be progressive, That's why I joined the JCs in 1999, a year after I got here, just so I can have these and do things for my community when I found out. So I just want to let you know that if you grant me, I'm gonna be that person, and I'm just here for not just me, for my family, but for others as well.
All right, thank you. Madam, prepare to vote.
Have you done the 100-hour program? Pre-release?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Well, okay, I'm ready.
Go ahead, Mr. Renata.
Mr. Washington? I'm impressed by what the warden has said, that, you've done really well since, you hadn't had it right up since 2017. I haven't really heard from you a really clear transition plan. You haven't, and I know you're nervous, you haven't been able to articulate to me at least, what your plans for the future are. You've been in jail a long time. And we did encourage you to stay right up free and keep working the last time we saw you back in 2020. And so what I want to do is I would grant your parole after you go through a work release program. Are you willing to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Long term. You have a lot of time, so you've got time to do it. So
Oh, after work.
to grant your parole after you complete a 9-month work release program with whatever special conditions my colleagues in the program.
All right, Mr. Marabella.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Washington, I'm confused on the crimes you've committed. Right? I think that our records reflect more significant crimes than what you say. But you've done well. The comments by the warden, my vote likewise would be to grant conditionally after complete work release for a significant amount of time.
Right, 2 votes to grant your parole. I'm also going to vote to grant your parole today for the work you've done, for the positive warden comments. You'll be granted to a transitional work program for 9 months after release. You'll have community service for 6 hours per month. Give back to the community, talk to people, try to help people out. And you have a curfew from 10 p to 6 a. You understand your stipulations?
Yes, sir.
3 votes to grant your parole has been granted. Good luck to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Don't disappoint us.
Oh, no, ma'am, you won't be disappointed.
But